Hello and welcome. It's Crafty Carol here from Northern Ireland with another little project for you. Now, I first saw this set in the mini catalogue and I had to buy it because I love these instinctive, I can say that, sometimes I can't say that, today I can, instinctive stamps, which stamp in the way that they show on here. So you've got a sort of outline edge and then this beautiful sort of less stamped middle. And I saw this and thought, oh, that looks a lovely set. I have got lots of flower sets, but I decided I wanted this one. And the thing that really sold it to me was as a bundle, it has the dies as well. Now, although it was in that catalogue, it is still available because it is in now the online exclusives on the Stampin' Up website. So you can still buy it. And so that's the stamps, and I'll show you those in a minute because I've got some cards I've done with those. But it's also got these dies. The die set has these solid dies. Now, this is old stock, it's actually retired now, but it's some glimmer paper of the in colours. And I wanted to use some of it up because our gorgeous in colours for 2021 to 2022 to 2024 will be retiring at the end of April. So I really wanted to make the most of them because they are a super set of colours. And I decided to use the glimmer paper over here somewhere. I can show you. It's an ombre glimmer paper and I thought it was rather beautiful, so I might as well use some of it up. And I decided to cut out using these dies, these solid dies, which make two sizes of different flowers, and you've got these ones here which make the centres for them. So I cut out the flowers from my sweet sorbet glimmer paper. I cut the centres from some early espresso cardstock, and the leaves, again, I've used the solid leaves here and the outline leaf. I used both to get plenty because I can do two at once then. I'm all for making die cutting easy. And I cut those out of the green glimmer paper as well. So the Parakeet Party glimmer paper. So Sweet Sorbet Parakeet Party. And I put it on a Sweet Sorbet base. And just put that. It's a thank you card. I used that greeting is actually from Go to Greetings, but I needed some thank you cards. And you'll see here I've also embossed the white piece that I've stuck the flowers onto. And that is using the Basics embossing folders. Again, these are an online exclusive. If you haven't looked at the online exclusives, do check them out. And there's a set of 3. They're fabulous, and there's this one, which is what I've used on that card, which has got the like flower centres all over it in a regular pattern. There's this lovely dotty one, and then this is probably my favourite, this hatched one. I use that an awful lot because I love it. So they come as a set of 3 Basics 3D embossing folders. Don't miss out on those. And also the translucent florals bundle, the dies and the stamp set. I think you have to buy them separately. I'm not sure it's available as a bundle now. I'd have to check. But anyway, it's in the online exclusives. So I thought I'd show you how I made up these flowers and how I made up the cards. And if I put that to one side for now. Oh, it's got some lovely sentiments as well. You're the best, happy birthday. And I've used those in this next card. You've got a stem. You've got the flower centre, so you can stamp that as well. A tiny flower. This lovely sprig, which I've actually used to decorate the inside of the card and the envelope. There, and I've just stamped and then stamped off, so I've got 2 different shades of Sweet Sorbet in there and on the envelope. So let me get all my stuff in because I've already done a lot of the preparation because it's pretty boring watching me die cut things. So I've got an ordinary card base, and now I'm using Tahitian Tide, and this is the normal card base of 21 centimetres or 8.5 inches by 14.8 centimetres or 5.5 inches, scored at 10.5 centimetres or 4.25 inches. So we can fold that and give it a good burnish. I can find my burnishing tool. There we go, my bone folder. So that's my card base. And then I've already cut out the other bits. I've actually already done some of the stamping too. So I've stamped the envelope using the same stamped off technique, just to stamp 3 sprigs on it. Put that to one side for now. And I've done all my die cutting. Try not to lose the bits. And I've got my other 2 bits ready. Now I've already prepared the bit for inside the card. I've just stamped the You're the Best from the translucent floral set and the sprigs in the bottom, and that's for the inside of the card, and that is 9.5 centimetres by 13.8 centimetres or I can't remember. It's in the blog, all of the inches. I'd remember to look up the inches for the main bit, but not the other. It's basically 1/2 inch smaller, so it'd be, is it, let me measure it and then I can tell you. Dear heavens, why don't I always write these down? I need to learn them and then I can say them. So it's 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, yeah. By 5, I think it will have to be for American sizes. This is obviously for UK sizes. So I think by 5 for American sizes, 3 3/4 by 5. Right, and we've also got a piece for the front, and this is, I can give you the, again, so the front of an American size card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it would be 5 1/4 this way by 4 that way for American sizes. For our UK centimetre sizes, this is 10 centimetres by 14.3 centimetres. And what I've done is I've already embossed that. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, using that lovely cross-hatched embossing folder, which, as I said, is my favourite. So we can go ahead and actually stick these bits in, and then those bits are done, and then I'll show you how to make all the flowers. So I went mad die cutting, which is why I didn't do it on screen, because it takes forever. So I didn't want to spend hours die cutting and then have to edit it all out if I did the video. So that's why I've prepared it first. So I'll stick the inside bit on, then I can stick this bit on the front. Oh, and when you're embossing, by the way, you get 2 sides. You get a debossed side, where the side is sort of embossed into the card, or you get an embossed side where it sticks up. That's the side I want on top. So I put the glue on the debossed side. But you can choose. Sometimes I think the debossed side actually looks a bit better, and so it can be nice to use that side. But for this particular card, I want the embossed sticking up, so it's on the outside. So that's my front and inside done of my card. Needs a bit more of a burnish, I think, to stay closed, but let's not worry about that. I've also, again, just for speed, I've stamped the happy birthday from the set on a scrap piece of basic white and then layered it and just fussy cut round to give me a little frame using the Tahitian tide. That's going to be my sentiment. Now we get the exciting bits. So when you cut out using these dies, you have 2 different big dies. So you've got one with a sort of flat splodgy base and one that has more sort of 3 petals. So I've cut these out from the ombre set. And out of one sheet of 6x6 paper, you can get, I think it's 3 big ones and 3 small ones, something like that. 3 big flowers and 3 small ones, yeah. And then I cut out all of the, I'm going to have that one at the top. So that's how I'll make those big flowers. And then the smaller ones very similarly. So many bits here. So again, I've got 6 of those. I'm just going to match them up a little bit. I could put the ombre bits sort of, I don't know, more max them up, but I think I'd rather have them similar colours. So I'm going to put the sort of very light, oh, it's a very light one there. Put that with that one. And then that one with that one. Perhaps. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have that one with that one. Oop. And that one with that one. Right. So once I've got them sorted, I can glue them together. And I used this as a sort of the bottom bit, I suppose. And I had, of these big dies, I had this particular die underneath. So I'm just going to put a little blob of Tombow, not very much because it squishes out. And then put this on top and just press that down. There we go. And they're not even petals, so you don't have to worry too much about which way you put them on. But I just like them to be roughly sort of showing. So I've got these ones, using them like this, I get a sort of flat base to this flower, which I really quite like. So there's 3 of those in the 3 different ombres. 3 different colours from the ombre glimmer paper. I don't know if that's still available on, I must have a look and see if you can still get that on the online exclusives. It's amazing what you can get on the online exclusives. And I don't know, it's just, yeah, which way should we have that? We'll have that at the bottom, I think, and then put this one across the top this way. So this one makes more of a flower shape with a sort of top and bottom. There we go. I'll do the same with this one. Just a little dab of glue. I suppose I should have made some of these up as well. That would have saved a bit of time, but I wanted to see you to see how I'm making up these flowers. Ooh, stick. This is glimmer paper, so this is why I'm doing the flowers first, because I want to give them time to dry a little bit before I stick anything else on them, because they will take a bit longer to dry, it being glimmer stuff. Put that one together slightly differently, but I don't think that matters because, as I say, they're not even petals. So I'm going to leave those, stick, there, leave those to dry a minute. So you can see I've got all the leaves cut out as well. There are 3 different dies for the leaves. There's this sort of double leaf, and then there's some bigger single leaves and smaller single leaves, and I just cut several of each. And then these little centres, there are 3 smaller centres, which I'm using for the smaller flowers, and the 3 larger centres, which I'm using for the larger flowers. So my next step is to stick those on the centre. So again, just a tiny bit of Tombow. And stick that on somewhere in the middle. So I'll just speed the video up because you don't need to see me doing all of this to prepare all of these flowers, and then I'm going to show you how I shape them. Okay, so that has stuck all of my flowers together and hopefully they're glued down solidly now. And I'm just going to use my hand to shape them. You can use a foam mat if you don't want to use your hand. I tend to use my hands for all sorts of things, and I should probably use mats more. But the easy way is put it in the centre of your palm, and I've got this lovely tool with a great big ball end. If you don't have something like this, then use a sort of rounded end of a large pencil or marker of some sort that you can just push into the centre, and that just shapes the flower a little bit. So can you see that? Just how it shapes it a bit. So again, I'm going to do that on all of them. So something sort of round and pointed. Is there a kitchen implement that might do? I'm trying to think. Don't do much cooking, so there may well be something, but this is what you want. And if all else fails, the other thing you can use is your knuckle. So just use your opposite knuckle. I'll show you one with just using the knuckle. So I can push it in just using my knuckle, and it produces very much the same sort of picture. But I like this tool. I've got a smaller one on this end for my smaller flowers. Makes it easy. But use your knuckle or the end of a pen or something if you haven't got one of these types of tools. There. So that has shaped all of my flowers, and then it's a matter of just sort of sticking them on and sticking these on. And I just sort of stuck them on really wherever I felt. And I stuck the flowers on first. And when you're doing this, it's often a good idea to think about, I've got this sort of ombre effect going on, so I want to think about where I want to put the flowers. So I might have that one up there, and then perhaps, I don't know, something like that, and then mix up these in a similar way. So I might have that one there. Need to leave room for my my sentiment, so I might have them something like that. So I'm going to lay them out roughly, and then I can stick them all on. And I'm just going to stick them on using a blob of glue on the back, and then press down in the middle, because if I try and put glue anywhere else, I'm going to lose some of that shaping, which I don't want to lose. So don't put too much glue on, just put it on the sort of where the base of the shaping is. So we'll have the big ones on first, and then put the smaller ones in between. Need to leave room for a smaller one over there. That one. So you can see how I've tried to mix up the ombre effects as well, and then I can have some flowers overlapping others and whatever. But I used glue because I've already got shape on the flowers. I don't really want any more dimension from using dimensionals or something like that, but you could always add them with dimensionals. I think you lose some of the shape of the flower if you use too many of those. I haven't really come down here enough. I might bring this one down a bit. There we go. There, so you can just put them out wherever you want, and then the leaves you just add wherever you feel that it needs a leaf. So I tend to use the bigger leaves behind the bigger flowers. I think we'll have that one there. Again, it's your choice where you put them. I just put a little bit of glue on the edge and then sort of tuck them under the flower. So I've got a bit of a gap here because I've moved the flowers down. So I'm going to put that double leaf in there. Just tuck you behind that flower. There we go. Not sure if there's a top or a bottom to each leaf. I don't think it matters too much. One of the ends is shaped, but I'm not... Perhaps I ought to go and look at some leaves in nature and try and work out which end's which, but I don't think it really matters too much. And I've got a final one, which we'll put... Where shall we put that one? Might have another one coming out of this plant, actually. I know this one's got 3 leaves and all the rest haven't, but I think it just fills the space nicely. Doesn't really matter too much. And then for my happy birthday, I'm going to use a dimensional, well, actually it's the end of a strip of dimensionals, but it'll do because it'll hold it up. So I'm going to use dimensional 2 just to stick my happy birthday up in the corner up here. So we'll have it evenly. I'm going to have it over a bit because it matches the pattern better. Just use by eye where it seems to go. And there is my card. Happy birthday. You're the best. So I hope you liked that. There's the other one. There's my envelope. There we go. Envelope for both as well. So there are my 2 cards. Not using the stamps at all. The only thing I've stamped are the sentiments and the decoration on the inside and on the envelope. But I hope you like these, using the translucent floral set and the gorgeous dies that come with it. So have a go with that. If you don't have any sort of ombre glitter card, if it isn't still available, and it possibly isn't, although I would check on the online exclusives because it may well be, then you could always just use ordinary Tahitian Tide for this and use the colour lifter. Interestingly, does lift a little bit of colour from the cardstock, so you could make it a bit more ombre that and then colour it in Wink of Stella and you'd get a very similar effect. So I hope you like those cards. They're a little bit different, not my usual style, but I've really enjoyed playing with them. You can, of course, get all of the details and all the measurements on my blog at craftycarolscards.co.uk. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do. I'm delighted to have just passed 900 subscribers, which is brilliant. So my next aim is to get to 1,000. So please do subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.